Vehicles, you don't have to do that. The normal lifespan of an electric vehicle battery is around 10 to 12 years according to the product. This can highly reduce the maintenance costs and environmental impacts needed for the materials for them. Furthermore, electric vehicles are getting greener and greener every year. Many countries are already looking forward to the renewable energy to rely on electric vehicles. Electric vehicles normally use more of air and hydro-powered energies rather than fossil fuels and non-renewable energies. This is already highly impacting the betterment of environmental quality and conservation of environment. In conclusion, electric vehicles are the most favorable and effective solution to battle climate change and air pollution. To end my speech, I would like to say, clean air is not a luxury, it is a right, and electric vehicles bring us closer to claiming them. Thank you.
May I start?
Yes.
Good morning, honorable judges, teachers, opponents, and my dear friends. Today, in this RGD 2025-2026 Battle of Wits, I'm here to stand. I, Rianshi Khalil, stand in front of you to say the harsh reality of EVs or electric vehicles. As you all may know what electrical vehicles are, they are vehicles that were supposedly made to make the environmental cleaner, so to reduce pollution and all. But my dear friends, EVs or electrical vehicles just raise pollution. Talking about electrical batteries, they are made up of lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Metals that are really hard to find on Earth and requires digging like half of the Earth to find. Digging means mining, and there is a lot of risk nowadays in mining. So, my dear opponents, people can actually die from mining. In our country, 9.28% of the population has lost someone in their family due to mining. Many people think that EV just randomly, magically appears in the showroom, but no. EV produces 20 to 30% more carbon dioxide than producing a normal petrol car. And as my dear opponent said that we can reuse this EV batteries after 10 to 12 years, but no, we cannot. Even if we can, it needs a lot of money and it is very complicated, and we can rather use that money and brain cells in other development activities. So can we reuse it? No. Can we? So our only option is to just throw it away, and we have created a mountain of toxic EV batteries. Congratulations, my opponents, you have just created a battery apocalypse. Even though EV may sound very environmental friendly, but it's just like saying that you're eating healthy but also ordering pizza every night. Electrical vehicles is still just a car that is useless. It just takes up a lot of resources from the nature. And we have to charge electrical vehicles. So instead of charging it, can we just use it in other development activities? A lot of villages are having power outage or like no power. So can't we use that electricity in there? Many people cannot study at night due to having no light at night. Saying that, I would like to conclude my speech saying that even though EV may look good, it's not. It's just a waste of natural resources and brain cells and electricity. And my dear opponent, if you think that EV are so environment pollution reducing things, then I would like to say sure, but at what cost? Thank you for your precious time.
Good morning, everyone. My name is VIII and I'm from VIII. And today I stand speaking for the motion on topic are electric vehicles really environmental friendly. As my friend, as my fellow debater told that electric vehicles are useless. If it is useless, then why most of the rider in India and Port use electric vehicles more than diesel vehicles? Because it's more easier, more comfortable, and it even do not cause pollution. In EV vehicle, there are no tailpipes, which helps to reduce pollution. Diesel vehicles are
A warm good morning to my fellow debaters, honorable judges, teachers, and my dear friends. I am Nandisha Kamacharya, stand before you on this RG debate battle of wits, the ultimate debate challenge to debate on the topic that electric vehicles are friendly for the environment, and I will be standing against the motion. At first glance, if we look at electric vehicles, they may seem clean, modern, and eco-friendly, but in reality, if we actually look deep into it, they aren't as eco-friendly as it seems. People may say that they produce zero emissions. That can be true at some point, but where does electricity actually come from? In many countries such as Nepal, electricity often comes from fossil fuels and coals. So instead of cars polluting the atmosphere directly, they simply shift the pollution to power plants, which results in releasing harmful greenhouse gases. Most electric vehicles runs on lithium-ion batteries. In the production of these lithium-ion batteries, we need to dig up rare earth minerals, and the companies which produce these kind of batteries need to destroy the forest, which leads in animals having to change their own natural habitat and using enormous amounts of water. Studies even show that electric vehicles emit up to 30 to 40% more carbon dioxide than manufacturing a normal car that runs on petrol. So many developing countries like Nepal face many difficulties such as electricity shortages in dry seasons and etc. Therefore, in conclusion to this, I would like to say that electric vehicles may seem completely harmless, but in reality, their production produces carbon dioxide emissions, which damages our environment. Thank you.
Good morning to the honorable judges, respected teachers, and my dear friends. It is I, Vidya Gautam, again standing on this stage to counter my opponent's points. To start off with, we don't aim exactly for best, we go for better. I've already mentioned, we don't have the best solution for environmental impact, but we have a better one. To start off with your main point, which is lithium mining. Lithium mining is not exclusive only for EVs. Did you know petrol vehicles also need lithium mining? For actually, petrol mining is even more harmful than lithium mining. You might consider it worse because it's rarer, but it's much in a lesser quantity than petrol mining. Petrol mining is going worldwide when lithium is only to 10 to 20%. Other is the greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are much less harmful, including carbon dioxide, which is otherwise petrol vehicles emit nitrogen oxides and carbon monoxides, which are much more harmful than carbon dioxide to the environment. The power plants might be harmed indirectly, but the petrol vehicles still harm the environment directly. I would like to say, no, lithium mining is not the worst, and EV batteries are very much recyclable. They do cost a lot and can be used for other development activities, but the development activities are for another cause. This is for the betterment of the environment, which we can work to conserve it more. Thank you, that's all I have to say.
Today's digital generation. Good morning, respected teachers, my dear friends, panel of judges, and my fellow debaters. My name is Akshudan, and today I stand before you all in the RG debate battle of wits 2025-2026, speaking for the motion on the topic is it okay for companies to collect our data? First of all, let's begin with the basic concept: what is data and personal information? Data is basically the raw facts or figures stored physically or online, and our personal information are those information which which is the personal data like phone number, name, date of birth, credit card number, and even browsing history. And you must be wondering that is it actually okay for companies to collect our data? The answer is obvious, and it is yes. Let us begin. Firstly, it helps with enhancement of user experience and personalization. The collection of data by companies helps to enhance our user experience as it produces more relevant content if it has seen our personal data. And because it also contains browsing data, so secondly, my fellow debater opposing this motion might say that it invades privacy, but there are some strict rules and regulations, also boundaries and limitations against it. Laws like GDPR and CCPA has been acting to stop the misuse of data. The recent court study of July 17 of Mark Zuckerberg has sued him for $8 billion by shareholders because he had been shown for consent missing data in his company. After the $8 million suit, he had hired more companies, more people, and other company members to help in protection of data, which shows that how this protection of data can also give economic growth and the source of employment for the people. Thirdly, innovation and economic growth. We all know that innovation is revolutionizing as Internet. Internet also has been revolutionizing for the past few years and the way we solve our problems. There are many innovations from till now, and personal innovation and personal data innovations is the most useful as it helps in convenient resource production. There are many innovations which goes wasted on the data today because more people don't require it. But after the collection of personal data, or you can say web browsing data, we can produce more relevant innovations. And if you say that there are, if you say that personal information can be. If the personal information can be misused, companies can hire people in order to save the in order to save the I'd like to conclude by saying thank you.
Good morning to the honorable panel of judges, respected teachers, and my dear friends. My name is Rahul Junsi, and today on the special occasion of RG Debate 2025-2026 Battle of the Wits, I'll be talking against the motion on the topic, is it okay for companies to collect our data? So first of all, as my fellow debaters said, that there are many laws governing this specific topic. I disagree, completely disagree, because as far as those companies go, I don't think they can cover the whole world. There are many people who do not know that they're being misled. And the most important fact about this companies collecting our data are the terms and conditions. Yes, they do give us terms and conditions, but most of those terms and conditions are more than 10,000 words long and have many legal words which many people may not understand, and many people are just bored enough to not go through it. You might have already seen those terms and conditions pop up when you open a new app. I think most of us rarely use it or see it and just click on accept. That is not consent. That is not us giving our consent, but then forcing us to give our consent by basically manipulating us, by giving us such long words to read and such hard legal terms. Now, the biggest problem in companies collecting our data is the security risks. According to the cybersecurity vendors, back in 2023, because of cyber crimes and hacking, nearly $8 trillion globally was lost. Imagine, 8 trillion because of cyber crimes. Now, my fellow opponent, do you think the companies will pay the people back? The answer is no. The people who lose their data are the only ones who suffer. The companies rarely suffer. The other thing that my fellow opponent said is personalization. Yes, personalization may be convenience, but do you really want to give up your privacy for just mere convenience? I don't think so. Once the companies track down our location and collect our data, privacy becomes like a pipe dream. Once our privacy is gone, it's gone for good. You cannot put the genie back in the bottle. Another thing is that my fellow opponent talked about economics. Yes, internet is a big source for economics nowadays, but that does not mean we have to give our data to the companies. There are many other alternative ways which are more safer and less riskier. Some ways are like anonymous datasets. These are the datasets which prevent the companies from reaching deeper into our social medias and personal information and just taking enough data, all the data which is needed. Another thing is minimizing the data collected. By minimizing the data we give to the company, or by really asking the companies what they use, because nowadays companies are not transparent enough. Yes. It may seem like they say everything to us, but as I already told, the terms and conditions are too long for us to read, and they are not transparent enough at all. And the companies do not tell us and most of the companies do not tell us what the data they're collecting is used for. Another thing is the bias treatment. Yes, there's bias in companies treating us. Once they get our data, they might give us information which we do not like, or advertise things which we do not really like. Now, saying all this, I would like to conclude my statements by saying that yes, companies do or may take the data for our own good, but they also may misuse our data for their own benefits and harm the people without compensating them. Thank you.
A warm good morning to my honorable judges, respected teachers, my fellow debaters, and my dear friends. I am Ashika Datta, and today I will be speaking for the motion on the topic, is it okay for companies to collect our data? To begin with, it's not inherently a harmful thing for companies to collect our data. What really matters is how they actually use our data. When the data is handled responsibly, it benefits both the companies and the users. Data allows technology to work, to function smoothly and improve services we rely on every day. My first point is that data enhances our digital experience. When streaming platforms recommend movies we actually enjoy, shopping websites show products we're actually interested in, and navigation apps suggest faster routes, it's all because companies study our data. It makes our online interactions more efficient, more enjoyable, and more personalized. Without data, technology would feel slow, generic, and far less helpful. Secondly, data collection helps protect us. Many companies analyze patterns to detect fraud, prevent hacking, and safeguard our accounts. For example, banks inform us about unusual transactions because they monitor accounts. Similarly, social media platforms notify us about suspicious login attempts for the same reason. In a world where cyber threat is constantly growing, the data collection helps us stay safe from it. My third point is that data drives innovation and progress. Many advancements in AI, healthcare technology, smartphones, and online services rely on a large amount of data. Companies can only improve their products when they know how people actually use them and like them. If we limit data collection, then we limit innovation. Due to this, development works are done slower in many areas like communication, medicine, technology, and even environmental research. There is an important argument that users have control. Companies must explain what data they use about us and why. And users get to accept or refuse to the data the companies are using. This makes data collection a more transparent process rather than something hidden or forced. Of course, the opposition may argue that data collection is a threat to our privacy. But we should really separate on irresponsible data collection and irresponsible misuse of data. In conclusion, it is reasonable and necessary for companies to collect our data if it used responsibly. Thank you.
Good morning, honorable judges, respected teachers, my dear friends. I'm Akshitra JV, and I'm going to be speaking on RG Debate 2025 and 26 Battle Will Wins, the Ultimate Debate Challenge. I stand firmly on the against the topic, is it okay for companies to collect our data? As you may know, we give lots of information to companies and we don't know where that's going. They might sell it to third parties, they can sell it to government, we don't know. What do you know? Can you see? See, no answer. Thank you. And now, if you can prove where that data is going, I will give up my night. I will speak on TV. First of all, it threatens our privacy, my first point. What do you mean by when Netflix is asking for your allergies? A movie streaming company is asking for your allergies on what? It does not sell food. It streams movies. Second of all, it asks for all things like your location, your personal phone number, and like your Gmail. Some of that's important, but no. What does Netflix do with your location? And my second point will be about the importance of the extreme danger of data breach and security check. Last year only about 40 million accounts were hacked. What is the guarantee of your account not getting hacked? Next. Authorized companies say that our security is robust, nobody can breach it. But in reality, it's not immune to hacking.